Welcome to the Learning Zone with Miss Beachley, Miss Hall, and Miss Bates.
Hi, second grade friends. Good morning. I'm going to jump right into our lesson with our objective today, and this has been all week long. Write informative, explanatory texts in which they introduce a topic, use facts and definitions to develop points, and provide a concluding statement or section. In our objective today, we are working on the third part of the writing process, so we are revising. I can revise to improve writing, which means the quality of ideas, organization, sentence fluency, word choice, and voice. All right, so I would like to show you two new anchor charts you haven't seen yet, but they are in your packets. The first one I want to show you is this one. This anchor chart, number one, it says to use a hook. Hook your reader's attention. Remember, a hook is a sentence that's going to grab your reader's attention and make them want to read the rest of your work. It says paint a picture as your introduction. So if I'm doing my person and I want to paint a picture, I might use very descriptive words to describe mountains and nature, because John Muir is a part of the reason why we have national parks. We have those safe spaces for mountains and rivers and all of those beautiful things. So I might paint a picture of what those things look like to my reader, but I have to write it with lots of detail, okay? I also want to point out number 3, which says write a topic sentence that your reader it tells your reader what the passage is going to be about. Each paragraph is going to have that first sentence that's going to basically tell the reader what those 4 details are, like we worked on yesterday. If you forget, I'm talking about this anchor chart where your main idea number 1, that's going to be your first sentence. Your first sentence, if you're going to be talking about his early life, you would write something about when he was born, something about his early life, and then give 4 details under that support that main idea number 1, okay? I also want you to look at number 5. Number 5 says make your paragraphs flow. Use transitional words. We've been working on transitional words for about 3 weeks now. I will post a list of transitional words for you to use. Remember, transitional words are things like first, then, next, finally, after a while, then this happened. So using transitional words can help your paragraphs flow better. Okay, in your conclusion, and actually I would prefer throughout your whole paper that you stay away from the word I, you. I'm going to tell you, now you know. I want you to try to stay away from those words, because this is supposed to be giving your reader information about a topic, okay? So if you look at textbooks don't say, when they're trying to give you information about animals and things like that, they don't say you, they don't say I. They just give you the information, okay? So try to stay away from those words. The second anchor chart I'm going to show you is this one, okay? Again, it goes over what we talked about yesterday. The first thing you do is identify a topic and thesis, which we already did. That was your person that you're choosing to study, so that we did that in our pre-write. List facts and details. We also did that in our pre-write, okay? Pump up the ideas. So these 3 together here, actually these 4 together, pump up ideas, group and organize ideas, use topic-related words, and describe examples. All 4 of these things are going to go in the revision process. So pump up ideas means include reasons, examples, and facts. Okay, you can also include quotes if you're reading from the internet or a book. Group and organize ideas. You can sort details into beginning, middle, and end. We talked about that a lot yesterday. Sorting your details might be starting with the beginning of his life, the middle of his life, and the end of his life. Or if they're not dead, what they're doing now, okay? So that's group and organize ideas. Use topic-related words. Sounds like an expert with vocabulary terms. So for me, I'm talking about a lot about John Muir and nature. He wanted to conserve and preserve nature. Those are two vocabulary words that naturalists and scientists would use. So I'm going to continue to use those vocabulary words in my writing so that I sound like an expert on the topic. And last one, describe examples. Use precise nouns and verbs to explain ideas. And that is one that I'm going to show you right now. All right, so remember, revising is making our writing better. So I have two examples that I wrote for you today. The underlined part is what is currently in my paper. The non-underlined part is how I beefed up those answers with some examples and some other ideas. Okay, so the first example, the underlined part is what's in my paper right now. So right now it says, now many places are named after him. Okay, I want to provide some examples of places that are named after John Muir. So I'm going to add on to my writing or revise my writing. I'm going to add some include Mount Muir, Muir Glacier, Muir's Peak, a minor planet, and a California quarter. Okay, so his face is on the face of one California quarter. Okay. Those are just some examples. I could keep going. If I did more research, I'd be able to list some other places that are named after him. It wouldn't be as exciting. You wouldn't know that he was named after a small or minor planet if I didn't give this information. This topic sentence doesn't really give you a whole lot. It just tells you that there are places named after him, but it doesn't give you specific information. So that's why I added that when I was revising. Okay, down here, this is what I have in my paper right now. He wrote about Yosemite. That's when I was talking about him being an author and a naturalist. He wrote about Yosemite. I added, so I need to cross out my period. Just gonna cross it out. He wrote about Yosemite called The Treasures of the Yosemite and Features of the Proposed Yosemite National Park. Okay, I gave two examples of articles that he wrote. So maybe instead of saying he wrote about Yosemite, I can say he wrote two articles. So that's part of my revising. Right, two. I'm going to do a little arrow so you can see. There we go. That makes more sense. He wrote two articles about Yosemite called The Treasures of the Yosemite, and I put that in quotations because that's one title of an article, and Features of the Proposed Yosemite National Park. I also put that in quotations, okay, because that's another name of the article. So I give you two specific names of what he actually wrote. Something else I was thinking about when I was doing additional research is after he wrote that last article, Features of the Proposed Yosemite National Park, it helped the government pass a bill to protect national parks. So I'm going to add that to where I talk about him being called the father of the national parks. So I'm going to explain why he was called father of the national parks. So giving as much information and examples as possible is going to really help your help your reader understand what you're talking about. It's also going to give them more information, which is the whole goal of expository and explanatory writing. Okay. Tomorrow we will be editing. So today, just make sure you're revising. Don't look for grammatical errors right now. Don't look for spelling mistakes right now. You don't have to worry about capital letters or periods at the moment. We will work on that all tomorrow. Today, I really want you to revise, which means make your writing better. Add more detail, add more examples, give me more information. All right, happy writing, guys.